Hey YouTube, I have a new opening series here. This one is d6 versus everything is black. I've done c6 before. This time it's time for d6. Doesn't really matter what white's going to do. I'm going to be throughout the series showing you typical ideas and structures that arise from d6 while also giving general blitz commentary as I try to raise the rating of the account. Okay, we're playing d6 versus everything here. And there's a few ways I can approach this. Whether it's e4, d4, I can play knight f6, Pirc. I can play g6, the modern. I'm gonna try a few different systems throughout the speedrun, but the first move is d6. Knight f6 hits the pawn, of course. Please show the clock. Oh. Holy smokes. Oops. Scuff stream. Alrighty, e5. We'll just grab that. They're offering a draw. We're gonna have to decline that. There goes your castling. Let's go knight g4. Double attack f2 and e5. I am going to... I think I'm going to take the pawn. But they're both... If I take this, white's pawns are kind of messed up. Both very tempting. No, this is a high energy speedrun. So I'm going to go for the most aggressive option. We're going to mess up the pawns and go for a quick counterattack. Let's go check. And then we can castle with check. Check. And now we can take the pawn. Oh, where are you going here? I'm gonna trick my opponent. They really want this pawn, and you might be inclined to play a6. Then they're gonna go back. I want to encourage that white pursues his pawn. I'm gonna go c6. And if you take, and I go king b8, you have no way out. Go for a7. Take on a7, then king b8. Really thinking a lot here, huh? Knight takes a7, king b8. Okay. I respect the energy, but that was 2 pawns for a knight. I think that's a plus for me. And now we're just happy to trade, right? So let's take. And now we got to bring the pieces in. So let's get this bishop out. Yep. This is an example. My opponent did not do a good job against the opening. I'm going to grab this pawn with check. Check. And we're going to just eat everything. You wanna come here? Nope. Don't go here. I got this move planned. It's a dirty move. But if you give me time, I'm just gonna start running the pawns. Like that. Are you visualizing? Good stuff. Push. 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 Wow. Thank you. I like the energy. Unfortunately, bishops do move backwards, buddy. I'm gonna have to take that. Push. Good game. I'll change the title as well. Go. Jakobster, if you don't like speedruns, I don't know why you're here. You can just go somewhere else. I play these and we start at lower ratings to make it more educational. If you don't like it, you can definitely, there's lots of other content. I haven't done one of these since the start of the year, I think. Just do a speedrun at your elo. No, that's not how it works. We're not actually speedrunning, we're taking our time. Trying to talk about our thoughts. Alrighty. D6. We're gonna keep doing D6, but this time hopefully my opponent does something different. Oh, D3 is not very ambitious. Not taking the space. Now we can have a bit of fun. I'm gonna go C5, which is more like a Sicilian pawn structure, where I'm preventing white from expanding. Yankero that bishop, I like this. This isn't a threat yet. I think 600s are getting stronger every year though. You know. I'm gonna develop this bishop. And now, are we worried about this? I don't think so. I'm gonna develop anyways. Don't mind trading. I'm just playing on the dark squares. It's castle. Oftentimes with d6, you do play on the dark squares. You know, d6, Yankero, the dark square bishop, the king's Indian is based off of that. So this is not too uncommon. All right, let's grab that pawn. It looks defended. Bishop takes, knight takes. The only questionable thing is if white takes here, but he didn't. Alrighty. I got a provocative move here that I think is gonna work. Knight d4, if you take, I'm happy because I go rook b8 and I get to take b2. I took back with the e-pawn because I want to go f5 and build my center. Oh, doesn't care about that. It's gonna be a bad pawn structure though. All right. Thank you. Now white's king is soft. I'm gonna play f5 so my queen has access to the king side. And one idea I have might be, well, first of all, this move doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna bring my queen in and I can activate my bishop. I don't need to activate it this way. I can also try this. That move doesn't seem to address this problem, so we're just gonna grab that. And now, this is a very strong checkmate threat. Bishop here, bishop here. I don't know, white's just not watching out for the king side. Okay. I think I'm gonna take the queen. And then I'm not interested in taking the rook, I'm interested in checkmating. Bishops move backwards, don't forget. Here we go. Getting just black games right now. All right. D6 versus D4, C4, doesn't matter the first move. London. I want to think of some sort of London trap. There are some that you can try, but I'm not the most booked up. Okay. I'm going to go knight D7 and I want to go E5. Just challenge this bishop right away. Take with the pawn so this bishop opens up. Now let's develop. This is an interest. What is this move? Can I take? Knight takes. I don't see the idea. When I take, I also hit their bishop, which they invested 2 moves in developing. Okay. Knight takes bishop. Queens are touching, but that doesn't seem to be an issue. I'm just winning a piece, or at least doing very well. I don't see any. Okay, I'll take it. Sure. So now we're up a piece. And there's a maneuver here that you're going to see a lot in this speedrun. It's where to put the king, right? So I'm going to trade because I'm up a piece. And now the question pertains. Where am I going to put the king? First of all, I don't want my king on the back rank, and I can't castle because I've already moved it. So I want to put my king on the 7th. So my rooks can connect and join the game. And I could go here, that blocks my dark squared bishop. I could go here, that blocks my light squared bishop. I'm going to make an igloo. I'm going to do this a lot in the speedrun probably, whenever I lose castling rights. Go c6, so I can put my king on c7. And pawn on c6 takes away d5 and b5 as squares in case there's ever checks, if there was a knight here. And then my pieces can develop harmoniously. So bishop c5, rook here, bishop here, rook here, and we're going to be all connected. I mess up the screen. There we go. Well, g4 ignoring. There's a bit of a problem here. Bishop d2, bishop e3 looks like it wins. I'm gonna try another move order. Gonna trade rooks, which is a good habit. And now go bishop here. King has to slide. Now, let's double check that this works. Rook d1, knight blocks. Can I take the knight? Yes, because the bishop defends. So that looks good. Yep, it's defended. Go. There we go. Hello, grilled peppers. Aslan, thanks for the 27 months. Checkmate 642. All right, d6. That's not an ambitious move, so let's bring the knight out. And we're gonna play classical style, like King's Indian, Pirc. You play d6 and you fianchetto a bishop. It's a pretty easy system to play and it works versus pretty much every single white approach. Bishop g5. You know what? I would love to get the dark squared bishops for myself. Then my king is going to be super safe because... Oh. Hey, the bishop pair. This is an advantage. That pawn on b2 is loose, but he forgot to defend it. Thank you, thank you. People tend to blunder this. Long range bishop moves. Every speedrun I've done, it happens. So this is easy math. I can take a rook or take a knight. If I take the rook, the queen can take. I win a rook, 5 points. I lose the bishop, 3 points. +2. I take the knight, there's no piece that can recapture, so that's just +3. No questions asked. So you take the piece. Take the freebie, and then I retreat. Yep, you saw that. Knight to d4, and we're still on the same diagonal. Another reason to value your bishops. People tend to blunder these moves up until like 1000 elo. So I'm gonna have to take, and I'm gonna retreat. And white has no piece on the board that can challenge a dark squared bishop. Now I said I should retreat, but another thing we can do is you see this bishop and you see these pawns. Pawns on c4 and e4 mean you cannot attack this bishop ever, which means we can create an outpost. There's a couple ways to create an outpost here. The bishop's pretty much on an outpost. It's hard to attack, but I could play c5 or e5, and this bishop is just guaranteed to be good there for the rest of the game. So we'll go with e5. Solidify the bishop, also bring a new possibility for the queen in. And I'm actually going to use c5 for another piece, because I see another outpost potential on c5. Which piece is that, and how do we get there? How do we get to c5? Because we have full control over the dark squares. What are we going to put on c5? A pawn? A light squared bishop? The knight. So we got two options, knight a6, knight d7. Good job though. Either way, get the knight to d7, that's a very good outpost. Let's go knight a6. The upside is we'd never block our bishop and we still get to c5. Very common maneuver in the King's Indian defense. And I can pretty much pre-move knight c5, because there's nothing I can do to challenge it. Now my knight's permanently defended, bishop's good. You know what? I'm gonna grab that pawn, thank you very much. This bishop is guarded, so I can just move back. And these two pieces are perfect. I don't have to worry about that. So now let's develop other things. I'm gonna start with the queen. What else do I want to develop? A light squared bishop. And since we're up so much material, we might as well consider trading. Thank you. Notice that everything is defended here. Queen can't take this. This is guarded. This is guarded. The pawns are useless at putting pressure on those pieces. And now this pawn is hanging. And you can't play f3 because that's illegal, so. Do I need to win more material? No. At this point, I think it might be smart to just trade and go into a winning endgame. I'm trying though. All right. I'm a greedy guy, so I'm not going to give any pawns away. I think we can take. I can take with the queen or the knight. I'm going to take with the knight, because that comes with a threat. Hitting this and putting pressure here. Now the rook moves this way. Uh-oh. It's a problem. Take. Take. We're up a rook, a bishop, and a bunch of pawns. The bishop I don't need to deal with at all, but I need to bring my rooks in the game. So I'm going to make some space for the rooks. Bring this rook in, and rook b2 is coming. Right here. We trade when we're up. Check. Take. I'm setting up a checkmate. King here leads. Ooh. No. Check. After king here, rook h2. It's defended by my bishop, and the king has no escape squares. Nice. Against d4, we can opt for the king's Indian, which is a setup. Whoa. Okay. If white goes e4, this is not a king's Indian, it's a Pirc, but I don't know the setup with queen d3. But I like the energy. We're gonna castle. This is when your bishops touch. We played that in 0.6 seconds. I'm not gonna say no to bishops touching, but there's nothing defending that, is it? We take? Yep. Thank you for the free bishop. The Pirc is versus e4, the king's Indian versus d4 traditionally. And one of the main differences is the pawn on c4 or not. Pawn on c2 and pawns on e4 and d4 is like a Pirc. Pawns on c4 and d4 is like a king's Indian. Alrighty, you want this pawn? You can't have it. Queen's just moving around, which doesn't bother me at all. It's going to be a target. So I want to develop. And there's no light script bishop, so if I go knight c2, if I go for knight c2, it's going to be... Now we could go knight c2 here, but seeing the queen on my side of the turf opens up some other possibilities. I can go for the rook. But don't lose sight of the lady. I'm going to go for a queen trap. Absolutely. Where is this queen headed? I'm going to go for the lady. And I could take with the rook. But now I can actually win it with the knight. Check. Check. And now we just wanted to trade everything. Because I'm up so much material, there's no excuse not to trade and simplify the game. I mean, they were supposed to take, but that's okay. Let's bring the queen in. Always oil check your opponents. They might give you free stuff. Like, don't be afraid of playing moves that you think are too obvious. Thank you. Thank you. They might go here. Then we're going to slide over and take. Thank you. Check. Check. Thank you. Check. Check. And now let's bring the other pieces in. Check. King's got to go there. Actually, this is a good exercise. Find the checkmate pattern for black. It's not that easy. So if you go check, which looks obvious, well, first of all, a lot of you guys would go here and give up a queen. Check, I go here. Check, I go here. And the king starts to make a run for it. I don't want the king to go out. I want it to go in. It's much easier to checkmate a king on the back rank. Can't go there. Can't go here. Can't go here. Now the king's there. Do I check again? No. And the king goes back. Now we have this check. And now it should be clear. King's got to go there. Move up with the queen. King's forced to go here. And then the in-your-face checkmate. Queen f2. Oh, we got a Canuck here. d6. Go knight c3. That's what white should do. f3 is another decent move. So we're going to practice. I said d6 versus everything. I'm going to introduce e5 without fianchettoing, which means I'm going to lose castling. But if you remember earlier, I showed you how to make an igloo. Does everyone remember? And it's not bad to lose castling privileges sometimes, because in the endgame, your king actually wants to be in the center. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to play bishop e6, then, oh, well, he's going to give me the bishop pair, not going to complain. And I'm going to go c6, my king on c7, and I'm safe. And now now we're good. They got the bishop pair. Bring in the knight. Now it's time to bring in the rooks. Maybe I should go h5. Put some pressure over here. I like this. Got the bishop pair, you want the position to open up. So immediately I'm going to take. And now, with your bishop, and you find an annoying move here. Because it's an open position, but black has the dark square bishop and white doesn't. So let's try to needle white a little bit here. You find an effective move. It's a move you hate to see if you're playing white. This bishop is decent. It has some scope, but this bishop is just unchallenged. So I'm going to go bishop to e3. Prevents white from queenside castling, hits the pawn, and is just right in your face. I don't mind taking first. Now I could take. That pawn's actually a goner, so I'm going to bring my rook in. I'm still preventing white from castling. I'm still about to take this pawn. Just got to decide when and where. But this restricts the king mobility as well. Okay. I'm coming in. And I'm going to take right here, attacking this rook. Oh! An unfortunate square. Check. There wasn't a good square, rook g3, I would have gone h4, but this bishop is just a monster. Unfortunately, this is not checkmate because the knight can take, so I'm going to collect my material. And now just push our pawn. Push. Trade. Up material. Time to trade. Push. I'm going to sack some pawns to run the pawn down. Push. Thank you. We could make a queen. I'm gonna throw in rook g1 first. Check. You want to mate the king on the back rank. That's always easier. So I'm gonna go queen d4 so the king cannot make progress up the board. We're gonna go throw in a check. And now it's set up for a one mover. Thank you, vice versa. Nathan for the subs. King can't go here. King can't step on the d file. Only square is this. Rook h1 takes that away. Checkmate. Alrighty. d6 versus everything. Against f4, it's not so bad. It's actually theory to play that. If you watch my bird speedrun, this is a sacrificial line that you can play. Do I even remember what I'm supposed to do there? But we'll play traditionally. Oh! I'm gonna be a pest. A lot of people don't think in the opening, they just make moves automatically. I'm gonna try to exploit the dark squares that are loose here. Like that. Thank you. Just the journey for the night. Thank you. Thank you. I'm 2 pawns up now. Oh, I hung a pawn. Oh, no. Takes, I lose a pawn. That's a shame. That would have been checkmate, but opponent didn't fall for it. Alrighty. I'm gonna queenside castle. I think it'd be a good time to attack the king in the center. Well, this isn't much of a d6 game. This is just white like not developing, which is going to be a problem. Because I'm up a piece, I'm castled, I've done the right things. I'm just going to open up lines and try to get my rook to line up against the queen here. So let's take here. We're gonna push. I'm not up a piece, but I have my pawns running down, which I'm pretty happy about. I'm gonna sack my queen. You can take. I'm allowing it. And which move am I gonna go for? It's gonna be a checkmate around here. Just give me some time. Okay. E3 is tempting. But if we want to bait properly, we're going to hang our rook. Oh, we hung our rook. Good job, Tim Cannon. Is that checkmate? Double check. Can the king move up? F2 is covered by the bishop. E2 is covered by the pawn. Is there any piece I can block? Don't see it. There we go. Truffle Pup, thanks for the prime. Thanks for watching another episode of my D6 speedrun. If you like our content, all I ask is that you subscribe to the channel below. It's gonna notify you every time we release a video. And if you want to move on to the next episode of the speedrun, just click over there.